The man who was cheated on by his girlfriend and best friend, then quietly exposed them both and rebuilt a life they could never touch. Ever had your girl of 2 years, the one you'd bleed for, the one you'd die for, look you dead in the eye and spit, "You're nothing," while she's texting your best bro behind your back? Picture this. You're on one knee, ring in hand, heart wide open, and she's already got his name on her lips, his shadow in her bed. That's not a breakup, bros. That's a gut punch to the soul, a knife twist so deep you feel it in your bones. This ain't some sappy love song where the guy cries into his beer and begs her back. Nah, this is a war story, and the battlefield's your pride, your loyalty, your whole damn life. What's good, bros? Welcome back to Alpha Talk. It's your boy, back with a tale that'll hit you like a freight train roaring through the night. We're diving headfirst into a mess of love, betrayal, and a comeback so raw, you'll feel the adrenaline pumping through your veins. This isn't just a story. It's a wake-up call, a middle finger to the games, and a fist bump to the real ones who stick by you when the world's burning down. Buckle up, because we're about to roll hard. Meet Ryan. He's 23, a college junior with a beat-up Mustang he's been wrenching on since high school. Kid's got grease under his nails, a grin that could charm a snake, and a heart loyal to a fault. He thought he'd found his ride-or-die chick, Sarah, the girl who made his pulse race every time she climbed into his passenger seat. Then there's Mac, his best bro, a physics genius with a quiet vibe and a brain that could outsmart Einstein. The three of them, they were a crew, tight, unbreakable, or so Ryan thought. He's got big dreams, a ring on her finger, a future mapped out, maybe a little garage of his own someday. But stakes are about to rise, bros. Ryan's on a collision course, about to go from lovesick puppy to a man forged in fire, with Mac riding shotgun through the chaos. This ain't just a breakup. It's a blindside twist that'll leave you reeling. Picture it. Late night dorm hangs, the three of them sprawled out with cheap beer and cheaper pizza. Sarah's laughing at Ryan's dumb car jokes. Max scribbling equations on a napkin, and the vibe's golden. Her arms slung around Ryan's shoulder, his Mustang keys dangling from her fingers like a promise. That's the peak, the high before the cliff drops hard and fast. You can almost hear the engine purring, the radio blasting. Everything's perfect, right? Wrong. Cracks don't whisper, bros. They roar. And when they split wide open, Ryan's about to learn the hard way that love can be a loaded gun, and the trigger's already pulled. Stick around, because this freight train's just getting started. We're talking betrayal that cuts deep, guts that don't quit, and a rise that'll make you want to stand up and shout. Ryan's story, it's about to light a fire under everything you thought you knew about loyalty, love, and what it means to be a man. Ryan was living the dream, or at least what a 23-year-old gearhead thought the dream should be. Freshman year at State, he'd locked eyes with Sarah across a crowded party in some sweaty basement off campus. She was blonde, sharp-tongued, with a laugh that cut through the thumping bass like a spotlight. He'd been nursing a warm beer, leaning against the wall in his faded Metallica tee, when she sauntered over, flipped her hair, and said, "You look like you'd rather be under a car than here." Well, he grinned, hooked right then and there. 2 weeks later, she was riding shotgun in his '97 Mustang, the one he'd rebuilt from a junkyard corpse, her bare feet up on the dash as they tore down back roads with the windows down and Springsteen blaring. That was it, bros. Ryan was gone, head over heels, picturing her as the Bonnie to his Clyde. Those early days? Pure gold. They'd hit up dive bars where the jukebox only played old country, splitting greasy fries and stealing kisses over the table. She'd tease him about his wrench-calloused hands, but her fingers always found his anyway, tracing the scars like they were a map to something real. Late nights, they'd park the Mustang by the river, her head on his shoulder, stars punching holes in the black sky. "You're my guy," she'd whisper, and Ryan's chest would swell like he'd just won the damn lottery. He wasn't some poet. He was a dude who knew torque wrenches better than feelings, but with Sarah, he felt like he'd cracked the code. This was his shot at something big, something forever. Mac was part of it too, the third leg of their tripod. Mac was the brain, lanky, quiet, with glasses that slid down his nose while he scribbled physics equations like they were art. He'd been Ryan's roommate since day one, the guy who'd stayed up with him, rebuilding that Mustang's engine when it blew a gasket sophomore year. Mac didn't talk much, but when he did, it landed. Dry humor, sharp as a blade. The three of them were a crew. Ryan the heart, Mac the mind, Sarah the spark. They'd pile into the dorm lounge, cracking beers and arguing over dumb stuff, like whether Han shot first or if pineapple on pizza was a crime. It is, fight me. Sarah'd lean into Ryan, giggling at his loud rants, while Max smirked and threw in a "you're both idiots" just to stir the pot. It was easy, bros. Those nights felt like they'd never end. Ryan was sold. He'd lie awake in his creaky dorm bed, Sarah's perfume still clinging to his hoodie, and think, "She's my future, man." He started squirreling away cash from his part-time gig at the auto shop. Every oil-stained 20 was a step toward a ring. He'd catch himself grinning like a fool, imagining her in a white dress, him in a suit that didn't itch, maybe a little house with a garage big enough for the Mustang and whatever rust bucket he'd fix up next. "I'm gonna marry her," he told Mac one night, half drunk on cheap whiskey and hope. Mac just raised an eyebrow over his textbook, muttering, "Hope you're better at proposals than carburetors." Ryan laughed it off, Mac's way of saying, "I got you, bro." Everything was clicking, right? But cracks don't whisper, they creep. Little things at first, stuff Ryan brushed off because love's blind and he was too damn happy to see straight. Like how Sarah started lingering when Mac talked about his physics projects, her eyes lighting up at words like quantum, while Ryan's shop stories got a half smile and a "that's cool, babe." Or the "jokes" she'd toss out, flirty little jabs. "Mac's gonna win a Nobel while you're still changing oil, huh?" She'd laugh, but it stung, like she was measuring them side by side, and Ryan wasn't stacking up. He'd shake it off, tell himself it was nothing. She'd still climb into his Mustang, still kiss him goodnight, still call him her guy. What was there to worry about? Then there were the nights she'd bail. "Got a study group," she'd say, phone already in her hand as she bolted out the door. Ryan text her, "You good?" and get a "yeah, busy" hours later, if at all. He'd sit there, engine grease still under his nails, staring at his phone like a lost puppy. Mac'd notice, toss him a beer, and say, "She's fine, man, chill." Well, Ryan wanted to believe it. Hell, he did believe it. She was his girl, the one who'd laughed when he'd burned mac and cheese, their first date in the dorm kitchen. She wouldn't drift, right? Not from him. But the vibe was shifting, bros, subtle, slow, like a tire losing air. You don't feel it till you're swerving. Sarah'd show up late, hair mussed, with excuses that didn't quite add up. She'd flirt harder with Mac when they hung out, leaning close, touching his arm, laughing too loud at his deadpan one-liners. Ryan'd catch it, feel his gut twist, but he'd shove it down. She's just friendly, he'd think. Mac's my bro. She wouldn't. He was too deep in, too hooked on the high of her smile, her touch, the way she made him feel like he was enough. He didn't see the storm clouds rolling in, didn't hear the rumble of thunder over the Mustang's growl. Love's a hell of a drug, and Ryan was mainlining it, blind to the crash waiting just around the bend. Those golden days, they were real, bros. Real as the sweat on his brow when he'd tuned that engine, real as the beers he'd split with Mac, real as Sarah's lips on his. But gold don't last forever. It tarnishes, it fades, and sometimes it turns out to be fool's gold all along. Ryan didn't know it yet, but the peak was behind him. The cliff was coming, and it was going to drop hard. The golden days were gone, bros, faded like exhaust smoke in the rear view. Ryan didn't see it at first, didn't want to. Love's a blindfold, and he'd tied it tight, but the red flags were flaring now, bright and ugly, impossible to ignore. Sarah's phone was a fortress, locked screen, quick flips when he'd lean close like she was guarding state secrets. Just group chat drama, she'd say, smirking, but her eyes wouldn't meet his. She'd started bailing more, study group ran late. Prof kept us after. And Ryan'd find her Insta lighting up with gym selfies, hair perfect, no books in sight. His gut twisted every time, a slow churn like a bad spark plug misfiring, but he'd shove it down. "She's my girl," he'd tell himself, pacing his dorm, the Mustang keys heavy in his pocket. She wouldn't do me dirty. Doubt was a parasite, though, gnawing at him, hollowing him out. He'd catch himself staring at the ceiling at 3 a.m. Her last text. "Busy, T-tail," burning holes in his brain. "Is it me?" he'd mutter, voice cracking in the dark. "Am I losing her?" He'd replay every fight, every cold "you're too clingy" she'd thrown his way, wondering if he'd pushed too hard or not enough. He was clinging to ghosts now, the Sarah who'd laughed at his burnt mac and cheese, the one who'd ridden shotgun like she owned the seat. That girl was slipping, and he was too damn scared to admit it. He'd text Mac instead. "She's off, man. What's up with her?" And McCad hit back, "Dunno, bro. Talk to her." Solid, steady Mac. Ryan needed that anchor, but even Mac couldn't stop the storm brewing. The first real gut punch landed on a Tuesday. Ryan was sprawled on Mac's dorm couch, half watching some physics documentary Mac swore was mind-blowing when Mac's phone buzzed. He glanced at it, frowned, and slid it over. "You need to see this." Ryan's stomach dropped before he even looked. Instinct, bros, that primal oh crap vibe. It was a text from Sarah. "You get me more than Ryan ever will. Drink soon?" Flirty emojis, winking face, hard eyes, staring up at him like a slap. Ryan's vision tunneled, breath caught in his chest. "What the hell is this?" he croaked, shoving the phone back. Mac stayed calm, voice low. "She's been hitting me up, man. I didn't bite. Thought you should know." Ryan's world tilted. His girl, his bro. This wasn't happening. But it was. He should have walked away right then, bros. Cut the cord, torched the bridge. Instead, he doubled down, desperate to hold on. Next night, he took her to their spot by the river, Mustang parked under the stars. He'd scraped every dime from his shop gig, bought a cheap silver ring. Nothing fancy, but it was his heart in a box. "Marry me," he said, voice shaking, down on one knee in the dirt. Her eyes went wide, then cold. Ice where there should have been fire. "Yeah, okay," she said, slipping the ring on like it was a chore. No kiss, no tears, just a flat, "we'll figure it out." Ryan clung to that yes like a lifeline, blind to the truth. She was already gone. From there, it was a crap storm, bros. A straight downhill into hell. Sarah turned tyrant overnight. She'd pick fights over nothing. His music was trash. His shop hours pathetic. His dreams small. She'd scream, "You're suffocating me, Basis," while he stood there, gutted, begging her to stay. Then came the control, telling him who he could see, checking his phone, flipping out if he so much as liked a chick's post. "You're cheating, aren't you?" she'd hiss, eyes wild, and he'd just take it, too broken to fight back. It was projection, bros. He didn't see it then, but she was painting him with her own guilt. The real knife twist? She started gaslighting him hard. One night, after she ditched him again, he called, "Where you at?" And she snapped, "Stop stalking me, you freak!" The next day, she'd act like it never happened, all sweet and, "Hey, babe." His head was spinning, trust shredded, but he still loved her. Or the ghost of her. Then the bomb dropped. She called the cops. Middle of the night, Ryan's in his dorm, alone when blue lights flash outside. 2 officers knock, stone-faced. "We got a report you shoved your girlfriend." His heart stopped. "What?" Sarah on the phone, fake tears, claiming he'd lost it during a fight that never happened. No bruises, no proof, just her word. Cops left after an hour, grumbling, "Waste of time," but the damage was done. Word spread. Ryan's name was mud, whispers following him like exhaust fumes. He was a wreck, bros. Fridge empty except for beer and regret. Mustang gathering dust. He'd pace, fists clenched, asking himself, how'd it get this bad? Then the final straw hit. Matt came over, face grim. "She invited me to her place tonight, alone." Orion's blood ran cold. His girl, his bro, the betrayal staring him in the face. "What did you say?" he rasped. Mac met his eyes, steady as steel. "I said no, man, but she's playing us both. You good?" Ryan wasn't good. 6 months of lies boiled up, rage flooding him like gasoline on a fire. His voice cracked, raw. "What the hell, man? Her too?" He was shaking, heart a war drum, ready to explode. Mac didn't flinch. "Bro, I'm with you. Let's end this." That was it, the breaking point. Ryan's world burned, every memory of Sarah torched in the blaze. He'd been a fool, chasing a shadow while she laughed behind his back. The ring on her finger? A joke. The love he'd poured out? A punchline. He stormed to her dorm, fists balled, voice a growl. "Explain this, Sarah. Now!" She sneered, leaning in the doorway, all venom. "You're weak, Ryan, always were." That word, weak, hit like a sledgehammer, shattering what was left of him. He didn't swing, didn't scream, just stood there, chest heaving, as her smirk twisted the knife deeper. 6 years of his life. Okay, 6 months, but it felt like forever. Gone in a flash. He turned, walked away, her laugh echoing in his skull. Rage wasn't enough anymore. He was done bleeding for her. But Mac? Mac was the lifeline. "We're nailing her," he said, voice low, plan already forming. Ryan nodded, fire sparking in his gut. Not just anger now, but purpose. She'd crossed the line, stabbed him in the back, and dragged his bro into her game. No more puppy love, no more begging. This wasn't over. It was war. Sarah thought she'd won, thought she'd broken him. She didn't know it yet, but the freight train was coming, and it was about to run her down. Ryan was done bleeding, Bros done being the sucker, the punching bag, the fool who'd let Sarah torch his world, her sneer. "You're weak," still echoed in his skull. But now it wasn't a knife, it was fuel. He stood in her dorm hallway that night, Mac at his side, and something snapped. "Out," he growled, voice low and final. She blinked, caught off guard, but he didn't wait for her venom. He grabbed her crap, hoodies, books, that cheap ring he'd bought, and dumped it in the hall. Locks clicked by dawn, her key useless. Inside, he wasn't the same Ryan anymore. Weak? Nah, he was steel now, forged in the fire she'd lit. Her words didn't break him, they woke him up. Mac was the mastermind, the calm to Ryan's storm. "We're ending this right," he said, pulling out his laptop. The plan was simple but brutal. Catch her in the act, expose the snake, let her crash and burn. Sarah had invited Mac over, her latest move in this twisted game, and he'd played along just enough to set the trap. "Hidden camera," Mac said, holding up a tiny lens he'd rigged from some physics lab spare. "She won't see it coming." Ryan nodded, fists clenched. Part of him wanted to smash something, but this was smarter. This was checkmate. They wired her dorm that night. Mac slipped in under the guise of talking, camera tucked in a stack of books on her shelf. Sarah didn't suspect a thing, too busy flipping her hair and pouring cheap wine. Ryan watched the feed from his phone, parked in the Mustang a block away, jaw tight as she leaned into Mac, voice syrupy. "You're the real man here, not Ryan. He's weak, you get me." Every word was a dagger, but Ryan didn't flinch. He hit record, let her bury herself. She trashed him, his car, his dreams, his everything, laughing like it was a game. Max stayed cool, feeding her rope. "Yeah, tell me more." She did, bros. Spilled it all, oblivious to the noose tightening. The confrontation was electric. Ryan stormed in mid-sentence, Max stepping back as the door slammed open. "Weak, huh?" Ryan said, holding up his phone, the video still rolling. "Look at this." Sarah's face crumpled. Shock, then panic, then rage. "It's not what it looks like," she shrieked, lunging for the phone. Ryan yanked it back, voice steady. "It's exactly what it looks like. You're done," she flailed, lies spilling. "He made me say it. You're twisting this," but the footage was crystal. Her voice, her smirk, her betrayal. Mac crossed his arms, deadpan. "You're a bad liar, Sarah." She froze, cornered, no way out. Ryan didn't yell, didn't beg, just stared her down till she broke, tears fake as her promises. "Get out," he said again, and this time she went. The fallout was swift. Bros. Sarah's house of cards collapsed hard. Ryan sent the video to their crew, her friends, his friends, the ones she'd played like pawns. Texts lit up. "She's a snake. How'd you date that?" Her besties ghosted her, her roommate iced her out, even her family got wind. Mac mailed a copy to her sanctimonious older sister, who'd always hated Ryan. Sarah's mask was off, her perfect girl act shattered. She was alone now, no one left to con. Ryan didn't gloat, he just cut her loose, her stuff in a trash bag by the curb. Locks changed, number blocked, game over. Rebuild mode kicked in fast. Ryan hit the gym at 5 a.m. Sweat was his therapy, iron his preacher. He'd been soft, let himself slip, but not anymore. 20 pounds of muscle stacked on over weeks, his frame sharpening into something fierce. The Mustang roared back to life too. Late nights in the shop, wrench in hand, engine purring like a beast reborn. He started a side hustle, fixing cars for cash. Word spread, and soon his dorm parking lot was a revolving door of beaters needing love. Money flowed, not much, but enough to feel like a king again. Weak? That word was dead to him. Mac was still there. Bros, the rock that didn't crack. Nights turned into beers and laughs. The two of them sprawled in the dorm lounge, no ghosts between them. Sarah tried crawling back, texts at 2 a.m. "I miss you, I messed up." But Ryan didn't blink. Ghosted her hard, deleted the thread, let her drown in the silence. Kings don't kneel, and he wasn't her doormat anymore. One night, over a six-pack, Mac grinned. "Told you she'd crash." Ryan clinked his bottle against Mac's. "Bros before hoes, man." They laughed, loud and free, the weight gone. The real rise was quiet but unstoppable. Ryan walked taller, talked sharper. Self-respect was his armor now, forged from the ashes she'd left. The Mustang gleamed under streetlights, a symbol of who he was, battered, rebuilt, untouchable. He'd catch girls eyeing him at the shop, but he didn't bite. Not yet. He wasn't chasing shadows anymore, he was building something real. Mac landed a research gig, some physics grant that had set him up for grad school, and Ryan was the first to toast him. "To the genius who didn't ditch me," Mac smirked. "To the idiot who didn't ditch me back." Brotherhood, bros, that's what held. Sarah's last gasp came weeks later. Word got around she'd tried spinning the story playing victim, but the video was ironclad. Then the cop stunt backfired. Mac had kept footage from that night, too. Ryan alone in his dorm when she'd called the badges. He sent it to campus security, cleared his name clean. Her rep? Toast. She was broke, dumped by some rebound dude, texting into the void. Ryan didn't care. Her fall wasn't his win, his rise was. He'd turned her betrayal into steel, her lies into strength. Weak? Never again. Ryan was untouchable now. No begging, no regrets, just reborn. The gym carved him, the shop paid him, and Mac had his back. He'd roll through campus, Mustang growling, diesel fumes trailing, and feel it. Power, real and earned. Sarah thought she'd broken him, thought she'd won. She didn't see the freight train till it hit. Him and Mac, side by side. Unstoppable. This wasn't just a comeback, bros. It was a middle finger to every snake who'd ever crossed him. Ryan wasn't playing her game anymore. He'd built his own, and he was the damn king. Ryan's on top now, bros, jacked, cash flowing, Mustang roaring through the streets like a war cry. He's 23, going on unbreakable, living free with Mac riding shotgun, the physics genius who never bailed. The dorm's alive again, beers clinking, laughs echoing, no shadows lurking in the corners. Ryan's bank's fat from the shop gigs, his biceps popping from the gym, and that beat-up 97 Mustang. It's a beast polished to a shine, a middle finger to every doubt Sarah ever threw his way. He's not just back, he's better, forged in the fire she tried to burn him with. Sarah? She's a wreck, broke, dumped, begging via text into a void that doesn't answer. Her perfect girl mask is dust, her crew's gone, her family's done, and she's got nothing left but echoes of her own lies. She'd roll up to Ryan's shop once, mascara streaked, pleading, "I messed up, babe." He didn't flinch, just wiped grease off his hands and said, "Your history." No second chances, no weak knees. She's texting ghosts now, drowning in the mess she made, the twist that seals it, that fake cop call she pulled, Mac's footage, shut it down, cleared Ryan's name, and left her exposed. Campus security's got her number now, and word is she's on thin ice. Checkmate, bros. She's locked in her own cage, and Ryan turned the key. Here's the core truth, straight up. You're not her ATM, her doormat, or her backup plan. Own your worth. Spot the snakes, cut 'em loose, and rise alone or with your crew. Ryan learned it the hard way. Sarah wasn't his queen. She was a leech, sucking him dry till he bled out. He didn't bend, didn't break. He broke her game instead. Bros before hoes, always. You don't let a chick split your soul or your squad. Max stuck, Ryan rose, and that's power. Real, gritty, unshakable. Weakness gets you nowhere but a ditch. Strength builds you a throne. Salute to Ryan, bros. He turned ashes to iron, betrayal to muscle. Sarah, she's dust in the wind, a footnote in a story that's all about the climb. He's not looking back, not chasing shadows, just rolling forward, engine growling, with Mac by his side and the road wide open. Some stories don't need sequels. They need an ending, hard and final. Ryan's isn't a fairy tale. It's a war won, a flag planted, a lesson carved in steel. Know your value, guard your crew, and never let a snake coil around your neck. If this hit you, smash that thumbs up, sub to the channel, ring that bell, drop a comment, tell me your take, bros. Did Ryan's rise fire you up? Ever had a snake you had to cut loose? I'm reading every word. Stay real, stay strong. Catch you on the next one. Ryan's story's done, but the vibe lives on. Men don't fold, they forge. That's the Alpha Talk way, and we're just getting started.